Merry Christmas. I'm Stacy with the New Beginnings Health Team here at the Brighton Seventh-day Adventist Church, and just wanted to, on behalf of all of us, thank you for your interest in health this year and your attendance at our events, whether that was earlier in the year on Zoom or more recently in person. We've enjoyed getting to know you and encouraging you in your health journey. Just wanted to give you a couple quick announcements as well as some tips for navigating the holidays this year. But first, if you are needing some inspiration for your plant-based Christmas dinner, we just had an event here last week that was our Christmas dinner favorites plant-based cooking class. And those recipes, as well as the video, are found either on our YouTube channel, which is called New Beginnings Health Team, or you can find it here on our Facebook page. Just scroll down and you'll find the link to the video as well as all the recipes, and you can learn how to make some of the dishes that we made, which were a vegan green bean casserole, a wild rice and lentil stuffing, a sweet potato casserole, a Christmas tree salad, and the easiest and most delicious pumpkin pie you could ever have. So check out those recipes, and we hope those will be a blessing to you and your family this holiday season. We are also excited to let you know that in January, on January 13th, we are doing a special class that is on how to eat plant-based. This was at a special request that someone contacted us and said, I'm wanting to start to go plant-based and beginning of the new year, and I don't really know how to get started. So we are going to be offering this class on the 13th of January. It's a step-by-step guide to preparing meals without animal products. And we are going to be discussing things like why plant-based eating, protein in the vegetarian, plant-based grocery shopping, the vegan-friendly kitchen, the art of substitutions and recipes, tips for when you eat out, and we'll have some personal testimonies from those who have recently gone plant-based themselves. So if this is a 101 class, and if you are looking at incorporating more plant-based dishes into your lifestyle, or maybe you're thinking about going vegan in 2022, this is the class for you. So please come and join us. You can RSVP for this class by emailing us at nbhealthteam@gmail.com, or you can phone or text us, and we would be happy to RSVP you for this class and hope you can make it. Now, finally, I just want to share a couple little tips with you when it comes to navigating the holidays. And I love the holidays. I love Christmas and everything about it, but this can be a challenging time of year as well. So I just wanted to share a couple little tips with you that can help you find some success as you go into the holidays. Some of the areas that are extremely hard when it comes to the holidays is stress, grief and sadness, and food temptations. So I just want to briefly talk about each one of those. So first, holiday stress. It comes in many different ways, and I'm sure you have been experiencing some of these as you have been out and about getting ready for Christmas. And how do we handle all that stress? Well, here's a couple tips. The first one is to set some realistic expectations. Don't feel like your life needs to mirror the perfect Hallmark Christmas movie. It doesn't. You can still have a wonderful experience even if you don't accomplish everything that a movie tells you you should have in your routine. So set some realistic expectations. Then second, watch your calendar. Don't schedule too much into your December calendar. Don't try to overextend yourself because that will cause you stress. Then watch your spending. Personal debt, and especially credit card debt, is one of the greatest stressors at the holidays, and it's very easy to overspend. So try not to buy on impulse and try to limit how much spending you actually do. Then next, focus on the priorities, which are family, faith, friends, and self-care. Remember, it's not the things that are most important at the holidays, it's the people that are most important. It isn't what you do, it's who you do it with. It isn't the amount of things you accomplish, it's the quality time you spend. And we want to encourage you to take time for physical, mental, and spiritual renewal. And that can come in many different ways. It could be taking a drive around your neighborhood and just looking at the Christmas lights, or sitting in your living room with only your Christmas lights or your Christmas tree on and listening to some soft Christmas music while drinking some peppermint tea or hot chocolate. Or read the Christmas story from the Gospel of Luke and really meditate on what this season is all about, who it is all about, and that's Jesus Christ. You could bundle up and go out for a walk, even if it's a little cold outside, take in some deep breaths, or do some stargazing, maybe have a bonfire in your backyard, and maybe do a new workout or something new that's just kind of helping to renew your body. And when it comes to some of the situations that you might find yourself in that could be potentially stressful, and sometimes those are family situations, unfortunately, we encourage you to pray about that and mentally rehearse what you might do in that situation, how you might relate to it. And going in with a plan and a prayer can make a lot of difference and make it not as stressful. And finally, implement the 8 doctors of health. And we talk about these in a lot of our classes: nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, fresh air, rest, and trust in God. These are the doctors of health. And we want to make sure we're doing these during this time of year. And we will find that they really can help mitigate stress and bring health to you. Then we have the topic of grief and sadness. And the holidays are supposed to be a very happy time of year, but it's hard to feel happy and joyful when you are still grieving or struggling with some sadness or loss you have recently experienced, or just struggling with some depression. So, a couple tips for you if that's you. Practice CPR. The C stands for communication. Seek out those who care enough to listen and to pray with you. And if you know someone who has recently experienced a loss or sometime this year, reach out to them and listen, ask them, how are you doing? Do kind of a self check with them, a wellness check. Are you okay? How are you doing this time? You know, Christmas is almost here. Are you having a hard time with that? And listen and pray with them and encourage them, because that can go a long ways to helping them have a better holiday experience. And then the P stands for participation. If you are struggling with grief or sadness this time of year, participate as much as you can in the regular activities of life. Move forward to find meaning and try to make memories in this new normal. It's okay to make some changes if you can't handle every situation, and if you can't participate in everything, that's all right. But do as much as you can and try to create some new memories that can make a positive experience for you. And the R stands for relationship. Prolonged isolation can actually hinder our recovery. So, actively reaching out to others to give and receive support is important in dealing with loss and sadness. And then another important thing is to focus on God and his promises. Give your grief, worries, and sadness to God because he cares for you. The Bible tells us that in 1 Peter 5:7. So fill your mind with promises of hope and love from the Bible. And if you're needing some of those promises, reach out to us. We'd be happy to text you a few or email you a few. They can help carry you during this time. And then another thing that can really help is to look for ways to bless others. And that leads me to a quick little story. Last year, when it was on Thanksgiving time, I was a little sad because I wasn't able to spend it with my immediate family. My parents had recently moved away. My sister is a nurse and she was working on a COVID floor and wasn't able to meet with anyone. And so I was feeling a little bit sad. And so one of the ways I dealt with that is to make Christmas dinner for her. And I delivered that, actually, it was Thanksgiving dinner, and delivered that to her. And just serving someone else helped to pull me out of the sadness I was feeling. It wasn't our normal Thanksgiving, but that was okay. And then the last tip we want to give you is on navigating food temptations. We know the holidays are full of sugary treats and fatty things and lots of delicious things. And this can be a minefield of disaster. So, here are some tips for you. One is to notice the mental blocks of holiday eating. There is the feel good factor where the holiday sweets are just releasing this serotonin and we just feel so good eating them. Notice that can be that's not always a good thing. And then you have the holiday food shortage mentality that says, this is the only time of year I get to eat this food, so I need to eat as much of it as I can. That's a pitfall to fall into. There's the sentimental value food mental block that says, this reminds me of home, or this tastes just like mom's. And so we overindulge. And then there's, I don't want to offend anyone by turning down their food excuse. So you go to this event and that event, and everywhere there's food and desserts and plates of cookies. You don't want to offend and you feel like you need to eat, but don't fall into this trap. Take responsibility for your own health and make the right choice. And then there's the I'll start eating better after the holidays blockade. And I'll have just one more disaster. So these are some of the blocks that can, mental blocks that affect our holiday eating. So, some tips for some healthy holiday eating would be to pray daily for control of appetite. Claim Philippians 4:13. It says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. God will give us the strength to have that temperance, which is one of those 8 laws of health, and to have proper portion control or to maybe avoid certain things altogether. Make a choice to eat healthy. If you don't make a plan and a choice, you will just eat whatever. So, daily, as you pray, make a choice. Then you can keep some of your traditional foods, but modify the recipes or find some new ones that are plant based, high fiber, and low in fat and sugar. And that is the class we did last week that's linked on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, looking at some of these holiday dishes and taking those recipes and modifying them so they still taste like pumpkin pie and still taste like stuffing, but it's got really good ingredients. And then make memory meals that focus on the relationships, not the food. And then remember 1 Corinthians 10:31 that says, therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all to the glory of God. We can make holiday choices that honor our Creator. So I just wanted to share those couple tips with you as you go into this holiday season. And it's our prayer here on our New Beginnings Health team that you have a healthy and a blessed holiday season. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the new year. And hopefully you can join us on January 13th for our Plant-Based Eating 101 class. God bless you and Merry Christmas.